People say I always go in late. People say I'm always not on time. I like to be duly noted that I am 47 seconds early. And I'm putting on socks because the basement's cold. I don't have a heater in the basement. But office is in the basement, which is a great place to be. And it's a good place to be. But I got to put socks on here. All right, guys, what's going on, everyone? That's Tim, of course, with Online Big Blue. Oh, Shane. Joe Schoen coming in strong. They've already interviewed his offensive coordinator today. I mean, this guy is not messing around. You basically get your deal done, get your contract signed, and what happens? You go out and you immediately interview the same day your offensive coordinator. I'm thinking I'm putting 2 to 2 together here. And I'm thinking 2 to 2 together equals like 6. Joe Schoen is on the Malik Willis Express. It's a final destination here at East Rutherford. You know it's the Malik Willis Express. We got this going, guys. We got this going now. The Malik Willis Express is on track. It's on.
All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
How long have we been talking about the Malik Willis Express? How long now? Okay. I think just for a little bit. Can we dispense with the ridiculous rumors going around the Giant Twitter that a GM job isn't tied to the quarterback? I don't know who said that on Twitter. If you build a good team, you keep your job. GMs get fired for not building good rosters. You're right. 100%. 100%, 1000% there. But I didn't know there was, I stayed off Twitter today. I was on Twitter for a little bit, but then I stayed off. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Expect to interview on. No, he actually had a Zoom interview. He was on a Zoom call today. He literally was on these. He Zoomed called today with Mara and what you call it. And I guess it was informal, but yeah, that's the scuttlebutt that he was on the Zoom call. Malik Willis or Deshaun Watson. I'll take both. I'll take either or. But I'm always saddling up for the.
All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
I'm putting up the Malik Willis Express. We're riding that express into town. Yes, seriously, Said. Evidently, they had a Zoom call already. I mean, Afghanistan, baby. Oh, yeah, what's going on? Welcome into the room as always. Welcome to the giant sphere. Because you know what? We did something right today. Shocking. We did something right today. We hired a 21st century GM. We didn't go back into the early 1990s or even 1980s and go find a George Young. We found a guy that can actually relate to players, understand how the philosophy works, and go around and build an organization because he's done it. On my video today, I ran through all the drafts that all the guys that are on this team or on the Bills team that came from basically him, that came from his drafts. It's great. I mean, we may actually have an organization where we draft people and they stay. Oh no. Why would we want that to happen? We like to not cultivate talent, have them go someplace else and then become successful. This guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Hey, Tim, glad to hear from you. Let's double up on, I'm not doubling up on an alignment. Not. I can't keep throwing assets at the same positions and hoping I'm getting different results. Coach, how about we coach some guys up? How about we go out and build an offensive line philosophy and stick with that? How about that? Can we do that? Damn, pimp. Gellerman should have been fired after 18 then. He should have been fired after 18. He should have. What's up, Zach Attack? How are we doing there, my friend? Mr. Authentic in the house stopping by. I always appreciate it. If you don't know Mr. Authentic, go subscribe to his channel. He also works with The Beard. Does a lot of good Giant stuff. Does a lot of NFC East stuff. It's a good watch. It's a fun watch, as always. T-Brad, Malik Willis sounds like a possibility. He's scouted him twice. He had scouts at the Ole Miss and Syracuse game. Now, the Syracuse game was a much better game than the Ole Miss game. Ole Miss game was a, let's just say, Liberty did not match up well against Ole Miss. They didn't match up well. They had a good game against Syracuse. They got stopped in that 4th and 1 in the game, basically, but it was a good game. If we have to trade up for Willis, I'd rather package a draft picks for Watson. I don't think we have to trade up for Willis. I don't think that, the scuttlebutt has been that he's not going to get past Carolina. He's not going to get past Carolina at 6. That's what their talk is early. Anything could change. His pro day he could bomb. Well, not usually on a pro day, you don't bomb, but he could have a bad Senior Bowl. He could have a bad combine. So we don't know where he's going to fall, but the talk is that he won't get past 6. And I do find it interesting since there's a guy now named Ben Mecca something, who's now the offensive coordinator over in Carolina, who happened to want to draft a similar style player for the Giants, and Patrick Mahomes. Just throwing that out there. Malik Willis, the best player available in the first round. This draft is pretty deep at O-line. We can get one. I agree. We can go O-line. You want to take O-line 2 through 4, go for it. But I still need an edge or a linebacker. And I potentially need a quarterback because we also don't know what's going on with Daniel Jones. And it's going to be Joe's. And I did a video today with 7 top decisions that he needs to make almost immediately. And one of them was making a decision on the quarterback, not just picking up the 5th-year option in May, but just making a decision on the quarterback and the direction of the team. And that philosophy is going to be built in with the head coach. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing today? Mike Lee in the house. Mike Lee, the world traveler. Joe needs to get rid of who we shall rename nameless person who put us in salary cap hell twice. And I do find it interesting that he's also the vice president of football operations. So they really did give Joe carte blanche. They gave him the keys to the giant castle and said, here you go. You are vice president of football operations and the general manager. So he's probably going to revamp the scouting department. He's probably going to look forward to doing a bunch of different things. And like I said, moving into the 21st century for the giant organization, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that happening. Trade Danny Pennies, get draft capital, offer Saquon, trade for Malik, get a stopgap, build them from the draft, everything else. Forget anything else. I'm not going to trade Saquon. He's at a manageable contract on his last year and his 5th-year option. It's guaranteed. So anything I do with him, I'm going to lose the talent and lose the cap space. So I'm gonna ride. I'm gonna see what Saquon's got in year 5. And maybe his last year on the Giants, but you know what? Let's see what he can do in that year. And can we trade some of the higher priced players for late draft picks? Salary don't, you're going to be salary. Matthew, you're going to be salary cap purgatory either way. You know this, but and like I said before, I can't eliminate the talent. I'm eliminating the salary, but I'm also eliminating the talent. And the problem is, what talent can I actually bring back with the limited salary that I have this year? So in some ways, it's better just to be in salary cap purgatory. Don't make any rash decisions and get rid of the people at the end of the 2022 season. Oh yeah, I would like to get rid of Leonard, but that's not going to happen. Raven fire Wink for defensive. They did fire Wink. I saw they fired Wink. I actually liked Wink Martindale. I liked him when he was with the Ravens and he was interviewing for the Giants position before they went with Joe Judge. So I could be down with that. I could see that. Harbaugh coached Wink at DC. You're right, he did. Please trade Jones because we're going to get Malik Willis. That's just a fact of life. I am worried the Giants will revert back to the Giant way. It's funny though, because I was thinking about it today. I was just laughing because it's like they're doing everything right. And you're almost waiting for that other shoe to drop. You're almost waiting for Mara to do something stupid or there be a Gettleman type move. You're just kind of waiting. Because you're like, this is going too smoothly. This is going too much the right way. Something's gonna happen. And you're just waiting. It's like you're like, okay, it's 9:08. They haven't done anything stupid yet. But Oh my God. But you never know. You never know. Ole Miss game was a dress rehearsal for dealing with the Giants O-line. That was a bad game. That was a bad game. That was a bad game. That was a bad. We're not going to get this. Ian Rappaport said the scouts are raving about Wilson, see a lot of Josh Allen similarities. I've been saying that for how long? For a year. I'm calling him. He's not Josh Allen. I'll tell you this right now. He's not Jalen Hurts. And I'm probably one of the few giant YouTubers that was around for this and saw this person play in person. He's Vic Light. He's Michael Vick Light. Michael Vick was a talent beyond a talent, especially in his early days in Atlanta, but he did not have the accuracy. He gained the accuracy when he went to Philadelphia. So what to me, Willis is he's a more durable Michael Vick who has the correct mechanics to have a higher completion percentage earlier in his career. And he has the escapability, he has the maneuverability, he has the pocket awareness, and he has the ability to look downfield while he's moving in the pocket. Tuto, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing today? How are you doing? Glad you could come into the room and say hello. Hello again. Can the G-Men afford Watson? I forget. No, right now they cannot afford him. No. You're going to have to do some maneuverabilities. You're going to have to do a couple things that you're going to have to extend out his contract, and you're going to have to move some money into 2023. And I just don't see the draft capital. And we unfortunately have to suffer through DJ Liver saying he would be the next Josh. I didn't even think about that, Saeed. That didn't even cross my mind till right now, but I don't think it's going to go that way. I'm still concerned about the neck injury. I've said it a million times. I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor. Don't play one on TV. Never stayed at a day's end. I just think there's a bone issue associated with this injury, because you wouldn't be talking about August if there wasn't some type of bone issue. Blow it all up immediately. Well, we got to wait a little bit to blow it up. He's only been working for a day. Not even a day. He's been working for what? Like 6-7 hours? Breaking news. Joe Judge takes a new position as the New York Giants athletic trainer. Apparently, he'll be his commissioning program by having his player run laps. So he's working at Planet Fitness. Is that what we're saying? Thoughts on Army during the thoughts on Willis during the Army and the Louisiana games. Sometimes you just don't have sometimes the problem with Malik Willis was this year, especially the talent around him was not there. He had more talent that first year at Liberty, and he tried to do more on his own without that type of talent. So, but we can talk about that later. We're talking about our new GM. Tim, if you were Joe, what players would you cut? We don't have that. We don't have that much time. You got to do something with Sterling Shepard. You got to move on from Darius Slayton. You're going to get rid of Will Hernandez. I would personally, but you can't because contractually you can't. I would try to move on from Logan Ryan. I would try to get younger, quicker, and faster. I would try to figure out a way to bring back Peppers, but that's not going to happen. I would dump the roster filler talent such as Caden Smith and try to find people that actually could progress in their career. I mean, when Giant fans are enamored with a third string tight end who basically should probably be a fourth string tight end in Caden Smith, that doesn't bode well for your roster. When you think about how long Jones will be out for his first full contact in preseason, yikes. I'd rather have a quarterback who can actually train that's the other problem. What is he going to be able to do physically in reference to learning a new offense? Is he completely limiting his workout ability for the team? I mean, we know he's not cleared for contact, but just what is he able to do via the players association agreement in reference to being on this team because of the injury? Just saying. Don't save anything by trade. You don't. That's the problem. You're trading the talent, but you're not bringing back in the talent, and you're losing the cap space. So you're better off just holding on to Barkley for one more season. Hope you catch lightning in a bottle. If you want to let him go in 2023, that's fine. But you have an opportunity to have him be great again. So let's see what happens. There he keeps saying Daniel Jones, and that's why they hired Schoen to get rid of Logan. Schoen to get rid of Logan Ryan. I think they need to get rid of Logan Ryan. I think they do. You're right. And I can't see him keeping Daniel Jones. What do I think of him? What do I think of Brian? You know what? I said this before in a video. When his offense is good, it's really good. You also have Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. When it's bad this year, it's been real bad. And Sean McDermott called him out a couple times on his offense. And some of the games that so I think it was like 4 or 5 games where he had a very Giant-esque offense. So, I mean, but like I said, but we can't judge him off of 4 games. So, if you take a look at his body of work, it's there as a coordinator. Am I sold on him as a head coach yet? No. I still think a Brian Flores fit would be better. I really do. But like I said, he's also going to interview Leslie Frazier, the defense coordinator, was also the former coach of the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know. I don't know. If they want to bring him in as an OC, I don't have a problem with that. But I don't know. What do you think about trying to get Zimmer or Fangio to be our defense coordinator? I think they would be 2 good defensive coordinators. I think they would be 2 great options. I think they would be solid options. I like Zimmer. I like what he did in his time in Minnesota. But sometimes people are better coordinators than they are head coaches. I always use the Joe Bugle reference. Joe Bugle was a brilliant mind when it came to being an offensive coordinator, but you put him into a head coaching position, he kind of wilted under sunlight. What do we got here? With the 6th pick, we load up on later picks in the draft and hopefully dump salary. That's what I'm thinking. I'm more used to baseball. I know it's different. The problem is with baseball, you can get the salaries and you get teams to eat some of the salaries. The problem with the salary cap in football is you lose that. You're losing this. I always think of this way. If you have a 53-man roster, you have X amount for each position. You lose a running back. Let's say it's $7 million. And then his dead cap space is $7 million. So that's $7 million off the books. You're probably gonna have to bring in a running back to fill in him at like a $1.25 million. So you're gonna get the same production. That's the only problem. I'm thinking the Steelers are gonna get. I am worried about Steelers and Willis as well. I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried about a bunch of teams. I'm worried about Willis balling out. I'm worried about it, and then him being that guy, him being that Trey Lance. That's what I'm worried about. I like Flores. I've said it before. I know people have an issue with him. I know he's gruff. He's rough around the edges. I do think he's a stand-up guy, though. He kind of wears his heart on his sleeve and he tells you what he wants. And I like that. I like that as a head coach. I like he's not a guy that shies away from the tough question. You may not like the answer you're going to get, but like I said, your team starts 1-7, and you finish 9-8. Or will they start 1-8? I can't remember, but they started. Yeah, it was 1-7. They finished 9-8. His team never quit. His team never stopped playing for the guy. The team still played hard. That's something you got to look at. Well, just look at the cap. Don't have enough money to sign the rookies. Good luck, Joe. Yeah, I know. You like my ex-inheritance a mess. It's going to be tough. Joe's got his work cut out for him. And like I said, he has got his work cut out for him. So you hope that he's going to find the way and the ability to work this through and work this out. And I think he will. I do. Joe Schoen on board. I said, what about Willis from Liberty? It's gonna happen, guys.
All aboard.
It's gonna happen.
Express.
We're gonna will it. And that's why I have the hashtag willing for Willis. We are going to will it. We are going to will it into this. And Matthew is correct over here. It's a great comment. Prime Vic was amazing. Michael Vick in his prime was beyond belief. He was a video game. I actually saw him play at Virginia Tech. I think it was actually against Syracuse too. I seen him play in the pros when he was young Vic before he went to jail. And then And like I said, there's just something there when I see that it clicks and that's why I call him, Vic Light, because he's never going to have the escapability. He's never going to have the maneuverability. He's never going to have that panache that Michael Vick had. That ability, he might though, but I just don't see that. Does he have any tongues? That was just mean. That's just mean. I hope not. He's also from Liberty, so he goes to a Catholic college. Vic would have gotten his accuracy early if he didn't go to prison. Maybe going to prisons would help him find his accuracy. I mean, thank you for super chat, my friend. All super chats go to Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Why are the Giants fans crying about Flores and Miami's? 2 of his OCs quit because of health issue, and the 2 was the thing because he wanted Herbert or Watson. That's the thing, though. His biggest issue in my mind was at times he came out and said he basically wanted Deshaun Watson. He came out like Tua was his quarterback and said, I want another guy. But he wants to win with his guy. And I understand that. And like I said, and most people forget, you are 100% right. He had 2 OCs, offensive coordinators, quit because of health issues. He had to deal with so much in Miami, but he still finished 9-8. The Giants from 2 years ago, look at how their 6-10 season, and people are pissed off that they didn't make the playoffs because of the Eagles. This guy is 9-8 and didn't make the playoffs, but he turned his team around at 1-7. That is something that needs to be looked at. That is something that needs to be examined. Oh, Zach Attack. Willis is a point guard who generates his own offense on poor teams. He can generate his own plays. I said it before. That's exactly what I call Malik Willis. Thank you for stealing that. He's a point guard who can create his own shot. And that's what you need on this type of offensive line. I'm all in for Malik Willis. Music train.
On the board.
We are actually going to have a new Malik Willis sound effect. We are going to have a new one. We're building a new one. We're building a couple new ones. Watson needs to get his past his legal woes first. He needs to just put everything in a class action lawsuit and just sell it all at once. That's what he needs to do. I mean, I'm not telling him what to do legally because the legal team is probably looking into that. But what's up, Mr. Authentic? Melise Will looks great. One thing I saw concerns me and Tad. In his interviews, he doesn't look confident and how high football IQ he has. Well, I can't tell that from an interview. I can't tell you football IQ from an interview. I can tell you when he's on the field, he makes things happen. And there's a lot of people that give bad interviews. I mean, that's my thing. I don't, and I've said this before. It's one of those things that people are like, we go back to the name we shall not speak. He won the press conference. He was media savvy. How'd that work out? That didn't work out too well. Not everyone. Eli Manning, Mr. All Shucks, never looked confident. His first 7-8 years in the league never looked confident in his interviews ever. He used to cringe at times. You'd watch Eli Manning give interviews early in like 2007, 2008. You would cringe. But you know what? His body language is terrible. So I'm not concerned about that. What do we got here? Jonathan, if Shane, I know it's German, tabs Flores for head coach. Do you think, who do you think is OC? Flores went through 7 in Miami. We need someone that we could save the sinking ship. I find it interesting because I don't know with Shane if he's going to go a direction in regards to having the hands and picking the staff, or if he's going to step back and let his coach pick his staff. That's my only concern. So if you go with a first-time head coach, I'm a little concerned that the Giants organizationally will feel the need, and Mayor will feel the need to put in his stopgap coach, Jason Garrett, onto his staff. So I don't know yet. We got to kind of wait and just see there. Anytime there's a neck injury anytime there's a neck injury that has you silent for the rest of the season, several weeks left concerned, I'm concerned. You have to be concerned. There's no way not to be concerned about his neck injury. And like I said, I know nothing about his medical issue. But like I said, to me, spider fracture in one of the bones. Nothing that's like an L2 or whatever it is, but some type of fracture that needs to heal. And if he keeps going to specialists and they keep getting the same answer, that you got to get concerned about that a little bit. I'm just saying. I'm just saying here. Oh, here's the scenario. I love when there's scenarios. GM bring in Brian Flores for a second interview and mention Malik Willis and the possibilities of draft him. Will Florence agreed to that type of early first round pick? The head coach would need to their philosophy would have to be the same as Shane. It would have to be. I don't know. And I'm not trying to cop out the answer, but I'm also not going to give you an answer, Frank, that is like I'm just throwing it into the wind because I don't know. I don't know if you go by Shane's track record in Buffalo, it's a Josh Allen type fit. It's a raw, probably most talented quarterback in the draft who has the ability that's going to take maybe a year or two to progress to where you want him to be. But if you have a stopgap guy and you're already a rebuilding team, you already know next year's going to suck. So in some ways, to me, next year's a wash. You might get a pass from the fans. Why not? Why not? Word on Florence is stubborn. Yeah, I said that. His way or the highway, which you want with a head coach. That's why we had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. It's that case always. I love Deshaun Watson. I'd rather have the better than Willis. If I'm not giving up a lot to get Deshaun Watson, and I can figure out a way to get him into the cap, and I'm only giving up maybe like 1, but it's not going to happen because they already said they want like 3 first rounders and a player. I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. I just can't. We have to draft a wide receiver and tight. Yeah, we do have to draft a wide. We need some wide receivers, and we need a tight end this year. Totally agree with you, Tim, when it comes to Barkley. Saquon Barkley. Yeah, you got to let him play. What do you think, baby Saquon? I want to play 1 more year. Even baby Saquon wants to play 1 more year. You got to give it to him. You have to see what you have. Worst case scenario, you are going to pay out to him because his 5th-year option is up. You're going to pay him out. Or you're going to play him out and you're going to run him out. That's my thing. Neck injuries, I would allow him to do anything but study his playbook, but I would rather I would trade him too. I would trade him. We worked our full-time. Well, we worked out full-time year-round in high school. Yeah, we did. They made us run the benches with weights and mini parachutes on back. Oh my God, I remember that too. How much of that can Daniel Jones participate? Kind of concerning. It is concerning. It is an issue. I'm not going to lie. Because like I said, if you would go into summer and spring workouts, you would have to do these physical activities. I mean, they don't do it as much as they did back in the day. Back in the day, you're running Oklahoma drills. But I understand your point, though. On FAM, Boomer said the sense around the league as these coaches don't trust Daniel Jones and view him around the same as Mitch Trubisky when you stay healthy. I would take Mitchell Trubisky as a 1-year stopgap. Mitchell Trubisky made the playoffs twice. Mitchell Trubisky actually had a couple of good seasons. Just he had the unfortunateness. I just make up words. About being drafted 2nd overall. It wasn't his fault that he was drafted 2nd overall. But he that's his problem. Barkley and Willis run pass option. I like it. I do like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. I like it. I like it. I want some more of it. Oh God, I'm way behind on the comments. Heading out for a show. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you, Mike Lee. I like this one. The Giants upgraded from Windows XP to Windows 111, or was that 111? What's going on, my friend? Hope it's all as well. Shane. Just talking about Shane, y'all. You gotta love Shane. Yes, I don't think Shane is pronounced. I don't think Schoen is pronounced Shane. It actually is. It actually is funny. I had someone because I have a very diverse audience on the podcast, and a lot of people are from Germany. And yes, they actually showed me the spelling of Germany in German of Shane. And how Schoen is spelled Shane. It's kind of crazy. Oh my God. I saw a Macadoodoo. Honestly, if you hire a Macadoodoo back as OC, I wouldn't mind it at all. He's a great OC. All joking aside. He's not a terrible OC. He's not a rotten OC. And I just find it interesting. I would like to see what he is going to do in that situation with the Carolina Panthers. I wish him well. And I always get crap when I tell people I wish people well. I don't wish people ill will. It's not nice. Oh, here's a scenario. Hey, what's the scenario? Interview everyone low key, send Joe to Harbaugh's house a blank check and don't leave until he takes and sign the contract. I like it. Sold. Can we do that now? Is that possible now? Jeffrey Abbey, what's going on, my friend? Welcome. What's up, LeVar? Let's go, LeVar. What are you talking about? I'm here. You're here. I'm there. Had to Google it. You had to Google Shane. Yeah, I just saw it. Someone else told me that. Joe Judge belongs on the Eagles. This team has so many holes you would think we were playing Connect 4. My son's school got a big Connect 4 game. And we don't have Connect 4 in the house. That's one game we don't have. I've been playing Clue, and I think Trouble. I'm very good at Clue. I'm good at Clue. No, I'm not. Texans are in a tough spot because Watson has to sign off or pay him $35 million next year. If you get Brian Flores, they simply will have to fold. I don't know. There's just too much money going on around there for me to have that issue to bring in. I just think there's just too much money. As a Baptist college, not Catholic. I knew as well Baptist. I don't know. I'm not religious. I'm Catholic, but I'm Irish Catholic, but I'm not religious. But thank you for correcting me with that. I didn't know that. I knew it. Oh, it is a Baptist college. You're right. Don't know much about the new GM. What do you think of him? I like him. He's got a resume. He started out in 2000 as an internship in the Carolina ticket office. And he worked his way up. I think that's good. I'm not going to lie to you. Bring back Pat. That better not be. I don't think that's going to happen. Hello, Gigante. What's going on? Oh my God. You want to make some chicken? Oh my God. That's too funny. Sasso. I love the Sasso and his Willis. Who's the adobo? Who's the adobo? Who's the so free? Oh, here's the biggest question for you. Who's the pasteles and who's the mofongo? Ooh, now I'm hungry. Oh yeah, it's Nick's second game, but at least we can laugh at the Flakers. Yeah, the Knicks 2 second. We got a Nick video coming out. The next video is Are the Knicks Broken? 2005 McAdoo OBJ was the last signs of life the Giants offense had. It really was. But like I said, he just is not going to be fit for New York. We all know that. Yeah, my dad was pronouncing Shane properly for me the other night. I gave up even trying immediately. He took German in college. I just love it, though, because like I said, this guy actually sent me a diatribe of how Schoen is Shane. Because I kept telling him there's no way in the English language that this makes any sense. And he goes, well, you know what's funny? This isn't the English language. We do need a Ben McAdoo sound effect. I think we want a one coach. I agree. Let's get the young coach. Let's we're going 21st century GM. Let's do it. Hey Tim, that's me. Where's the plug man? You're slipping. Yeah, I know. It's late, guys. No, it's not late. It's 9:30. I've been up late though. You can't forget the sponsor. Oh my God. You're gonna make me do the sponsorship, aren't you? You know what's funny though? I even have the button now for the sponsorship. Yes, we have a new sponsor. It's only usually when Dom is here, but we do have a new sponsor on this show.
You can't.
And and for Matthew, here you go.
Stop. Audio.
All right, everyone. This show, of course, is being sponsored by Poppycockers, the best in London adult entertainment. If you want to get your poppycocks, go down to the East End to London's best in adult entertainment. It's Poppycockers. Look at there for you, Matthew. I even have the music queued up now for Dom. Oh my God, that hurts my throat today. Tim, please talk about Julius Randle. You think he's done in New York? What do you think about the trash performance yesterday? Here's the problem with Julius Randle. 8 of the last 9 games he's disappeared and won't do press conferences, went with the media. Carmelo Anthony, as much as people bashed him I had my number 7 jersey on today when I did the video. He stood in front and took the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortune by the press. Julius doesn't have the New York state of mind. When you put the fans in the seats, he's wilting. I don't think he's made for New York. I don't understand why a lot of Giants fans hate the idea of Willis. I don't know. I laugh though, because I never shy away from race and racism. Sometimes you got a feeling that way about some Giant fans. I'm not calling Giant fans racist, but sometimes you get a feeling that way. I don't know. I said, I don't care. My quarterback's from Pluto. I don't care. As long as he can throw the ball 60 yards on a fly and looks like Michael Vick, he could be from Saturn. He could be from Uranus. I don't care. But I do see a lot of hatred towards him. It's kind of weird. Especially for a guy we haven't even drafted yet. I threw that out there yet. I see a lot of people mocking them to the Giants. Second thing scares me away from him. The analysts say he is a weak pass pro, and he's a player comparison to Will Hernandez. That makes me nervous. Well, any player that's a comparison to Will Hernandez, we got to stay away from. We got to stay far, far away. Same as trash. That's a Nick thing. I got to talk Giants here, guys. We'll do a Nick stream. No need to pay a backup when you can draft a backup per se. That's the other thing. You go out and you get a Mitchell Trubisky. You go out and you get a Marcus Mariota, and there's no crime. Andy Reid proved it. There's no crime sitting your franchise quarterback on the bench for a season. They used to do it all the time. It's crazy. It's okay. It's all right though. I have a feeling Shane, whoever you spell the name, have a great feeling he's going to trade back in the first round and get Malik Willis depending on free agency. I don't think he can trade back though. I don't think he's going to get past Carolina in 6. I really don't. My heart of heart tells me he's not going to. I know I was just being an ass. You know that. Hell no McAdoo in New York, but I wish him well. 37-41 Eli. He had 2 great seasons with Eli. 2 great seasons. He played to Eli's strengths, and that's what we have to hope this new coordinator does. We all love the Poppycockers. We all love the Poppycockers. Tim, don't tell me the Spanish foods. My family is from Ponce. You know what? I've been to the Campos in Ponce. I actually have. I spent a couple weeks there once. That's too funny. That's too funny. Wow. It's always a small world. Hey, bro, we're getting Watson. We're getting Flores and Watson. I'd be fine with that. I have no problem. If you want to get Brian Flores and Deshaun Watson it's tagged to that, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. That was for you, Matthew. That was for you. Oh, Evan Ingram, the free agent Evan Ingram. I spoke with Shane today, and he's going to keep me. Let's go. You know what's funny? At the right contract value, I do think that he would keep Evan Ingram. I really do. Does Jalen Hurts stink worse than Daniel Jones? Jalen Hurts' team made the playoffs. Jalen Hurts has more touchdowns than Daniel Jones. I do not define, as people try to define Daniel Jones on one game in his career as being the game, that's going to show everything else, and we have to forget about the other 30 games. You can't do this. You can't do the reverse with Jalen Hurts. If Saquon balls out next year, maybe we tag him and trade him for as much more draft capital than we could get this year. Well, you could technically, but you could actually. You actually could. Yeah. Evan's gone. I know that. ECK, I spoke with Shane, and he said he's keeping me 100%. 150%. Quarterbacks from Pluto can't adjust to the Earth's gravity. I thought the Pluto gravity had a gravitational pull that was less. That's why I used Pluto. Oh, my goodness. If we're going wide receiver, although he might be there for us, I want Garrett Wilson, number 5. He'd be the perfect to replace Sterling Shepard and a great pairing with Tony. I'm still not sold on Tony or Galladay. I understand what you're going, LeVar. I really do, but I'm not sold on either of those 2 players. Flores and Watson, thank you for the super chat. All super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. It's all we need, bro. Joe will do good. Be good. I like it. I do like it. There is a lot of bashing on Twitter with Malik Willis. Go to my Twitter page. or just go to any post that says Malik Willis, because I just comment on those because I know it pisses people off. And you'll actually see you can actually see it. You really can. Regulators, mount up. I got Warren G and Nate Dogg stuck in my head. If we want a bridge, how about Carson Wentz? He is a former MVP. I don't think Carson Wentz is leaving Indianapolis. I think they're going to give him a second season under Frank Reich. I really do. If we have zero issues bringing in Mariota here for a year on the cheap, yeah, I would do Trubisky on the cheap too. Because it's a year where we're not going to. If we win 6 games next season, whoever's the head coach and whoever's the general manager, they're miracle workers. So let our players develop. Let them play. Bad news bears, breaking training. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Daniel Jones can be a stopgap. No need for me. Daniel Jones, to me, though, you got to get rid of him. He's got too much stench, right or wrong, on him from the previous regimes and previous coaches. Some ways Daniel Jones is a coach killer. You got to just move on. You just got to move on. Let it go. Let it go. I see people say Willis' Jalen Hurts was a stronger arm. Hurts was a stronger arm. It's not Jalen Hurts anymore. That's a great point. I didn't see that one, but you're right. That's a great point. If Jalen Hurts had a stronger arm, Jalen Hurts is more like Patrick Mahomes. You're right. I didn't see that. I didn't see that, but wow, that's a good one. That's a really good one. I didn't see that. Watson, I don't see it happening. I have plenty of help. I'll be playing happy along board, holding the clipboard for at least 10 games of Jones. You just got to get rid of that stench. You got to get rid of what you talking about, Willis. I know. You know what? I was going to do the what you talking about, Willis, but I didn't think how many people are going to remember different strokes? How many people, but as old people, are going to remember Arnold and Mr. Drummond and Kimberly and Willis? Oh my goodness. You see how many players are transferring? Yeah, it's like the Wild West out there. You're right. You're right. But we're here to talk football, Giants. Although I don't mind Watson, I'd prefer a quarterback on a rookie deal. Yeah, because but the problem is they can't commit to Watson because you're right. You're going to be committing to that. You're going to commit something like 20-something percent or 15% of your salary cap on your quarterback on a bad team. It's just not conducive. Jones ain't last until April. I can't wait to smoke the DJ apologies back. Will I get some? Do you think I will get some apologies for my criticisms of Daniel Jones? Will I get some apologies? Do you think that'll happen? I don't think that'll happen. DJ can be the stopgap if his neck is okay. I'm not sure he's one of Schoen's first questions. Schoen has got to address it because he's got to figure out what he's going to do in free agency and the draft with his quarterback. No to Watson. I don't want the Giants giving back picks. I don't like the idea of giving up picks. No, I don't either. Jason Garrett didn't have Jalen Hurts offense. That's true though. Oh, please. No more Evan Ingram for the love of God. No. But we can't have, I have to retire the Evan Ingram sound effect too. I'm just trying to wait.
That's what she said.
He's the king.
We're gonna have to retire. He's the king of the almost catch.
Of the almost catch.
I have to retire. How dare you question Joe Judge and king of the almost catch? Although Hurts was on a better team. Depending on the free agency and the draft, I keep Evan. If you bring Evan, I know people are gonna think I'm crazy. You bring Evan back on a prove it deal, but I think he's gonna get money. I think someone's gonna pay him. I would bring him back. Hurts also played more games than Jones. Jones had more touchdowns and yards per game, I think. I look at the end. The problem is that's a great stat, ECK, but the problem is you said it right here. Hurts also played more games. That's what your quarterback's got to do. He's got to play more games. I wonder if the Giants changed back to the 4-3. We never got the linebackers for the 3-4. We don't have the defensive ends for the third. Well, it depends. You put Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams in the quasi nose tackle positions. You have a floating rotation with Azeez Ojulari and Roche, and you draft Hutchinson's. You might be able to, and hopefully you can get what's his name back, Blake Martinez back. Hearts on Fire song by John Cafferty and the Beaver Round Band. I'm gonna play it loud, so if we get Malik, Hearts on Fire. That's a good song. I forgot about that song. He's also makes like $30 million, doesn't he? He makes a lot of cash. Giants need a third wide receiver. Giants may technically need a first and a second wide receiver as well. I'm not sold on our old buddy. Is Willis better than Jones with a broken neck? Yes. I think that was a joke question. At least hope that was a joke question. Watson wants no part of a 5-year giant rebuild. He's asking for a quarterback who will start and pass that. Yeah, I don't think he's going to want to have that 5-year rebuild. I think you're right. Giant fans don't want Willis. Sounds like Chiefs fans when they didn't want one prospect named Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. How terrible is that? That poor guy. What do we got here? They need first and second, fourth down wide receiver. We need a couple of them. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we need people that can play. We need some guys. What do fans say about Willis that is insulting? You have to go on Twitter. You just have to go on Twitter and look. It's there. Twitter is a toxic place. It's a very toxic place. Twitter is toxic. I keep thinking the Britney Spears songs. Tim, the teams we play next year are not good. I think we're 7-8 wins easy. We make a better coach and better play. Here's the problem with that, Giants 34. Here's the biggest problem with that right now. When the schedule came out this year, so many Giant fans and content creators and people on Twitter had us at like 9 wins, 10 wins because it was such a weak schedule. It was so weak. I said if we won 6 games, I'd be happy against the schedule. And all these games that I went over and said, these are not gimme games that I went over in the beginning of the season, we got blown out in. So you can't look at the schedule in January when the 2021 season hasn't ended yet and prognosticate that at this point in time. And I'm not picking on you. I'm just letting you know. No apologies for you. Just more people hopping on the Malik. I love that so many people are hopping on the Malik Willis Express. It kills me. It just makes me smile. And I love the people that try to give the, this is their big thing. Oh, Malik Willis. And then you got people on Twitter go, well, online Big Blues been saying this for 6 months. It makes me happy. It just makes me happy. Almost catch. I dropped 2 balls. I haven't only dropped 2 balls this year. Yes, we always have to have
King of the almost sack.
That one we are never going to retire, Afghanistan, baby. Oh, yeah. That one's never getting retired. He is going to be good. You're a great nostalgia buff. I can't stump you. Here's my thing. I am filled with useless information. I mean, literally useless information. You know, I could sit here and talk about the Robert Pattinson film on Bigfoot. I can tell you some of the dumbest stats and statistics and things in the world. So that's what's up here. And it's scary. It's a scary place up there. It's a scary place. How we draft an edge rusher also of the Carson Strong to the Giants. I thought I'm not he's not one of my guys. Talking about Desmond Riddler. Now we can talk. We could talk. Hearts on fire. We need to get a pass rusher anyhow, anyway. Run a 1-3-7-D. That would be an interesting song. Oh, and cruise music from the sad and criminal was this, and always Bruce Banner's always walking down the highway with his little brown satchel, going from one town to the next, trying to understand how he could control the demon inside him, known as the Hulk. Bill Bixby. Look at all the Giants. Look at all the quarterbacks in the playoffs. Unless you get 2 top wide receivers, top running back, top defense, 8 will never be a Giant. But see, a lot of that, though, is not Daniel Jones's fault. But the quarterback play, we've seen good quarterbacks play well on lousy teams. And that's my biggest issue with Daniel Jones. What's up, King Tone? What's going on? When I saw Jones fumble getting the ball hit from the front with the Rams game, my first thought was, can we get a quarterback who can hold on to the ball? And the problem is he went down holding on the ball like this. And he still fumbled. Or was that the game where he was running and all of a sudden just fell in the fumble? Oh my God. Leonard Williams is now the king of the garbage check. No, he's also king.
Hear ye, come one, come all, for it's the king of the covered sack.
New Jersey Generals, man, USFL. You know, all the USFL games were being played in Arizona. even though they're all going to be wearing their team's home uniforms or names, they're all going to play. All the games are in Arizona. I'm a little pissed about that. I went to Jersey General games. I saw Herschel Walker and Maurice Carthon run for 1,000 yards each in one season. I went to this game. I saw Doug Flutie. I saw Brian Sipe. I saw Brian Barbarossa. I think Watson will never be a G-man. The rest of the fields, the outfield stuff is just too big. He's not coming here. Not coming here. Hey, Alex Sports, what's going on? Is Kenny Pickett better than DJ? I don't know. Right now, he might be. But again, he's too much of a stand-up pocket passer for me. He's too much in the mold of Big Ben, too much of the mold of Tom Brady. You see, you need someone with some mobility. You need someone who is something. We're the worst team in the league, but like I've said this before, Todd, even when you're the worst, even when you're the worst of the best, you're still the worst and the best at the same time. Worst team in the league. How can we think we get an easy schedule? We don't. People promise. They look at the schedule ahead of time, and everyone's like, and I said this. All these people are penciling in my game. This isn't the Miami game is a win. This game is a win. I said, no, these are tough teams. They are not going to be easy outs. This is the NFL. You need to wait till like game 6 or 7 to judge your schedule. We thought 10-7 this year and turned it into 4-13. I never thought 10-7. I never thought so. I said 6 wins tops. I said they could make a run if they had a top 20 offense and a top 5 defense. Draft Malik Wilson at edge. I'm there. I am there. Tim, you opened my eyes to Malik Wilson. I'm sold. Well, you know what? Matthew sold. Joe Rev watches all the big. I love the Bigfoot documentaries. And here you go, Joe Rev. Dun, 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 dun. We have Bigfoot. It's a Bigfoot sighting from the Robert Pattinson film. He's doing a little run there. I like documentaries and stuff. I don't really watch like TV. I watch The Office. The Office cracks me up still. I've seen like every episode like 1,000,000 times. But I like documentaries and things. I watch stuff like that. Whoa, I'm looking at Willis highlights. Killer, dude, he had a throw, and I can't remember which game. He chucked it 65 yards in the air. Cordell Stewart, when he was in Colorado, he had a throw back in college where he literally threw the ball like 65, 70 yards in the air. That's what that reminded me of. And I'm not comparing him to Cordell Stewart. I'm just saying the arm strength is what I compare it more to. Did you see what Strahan said about TJ Watts being better than him? I thought that was I think he's crazy for that. I don't know if Strahan said that. I'm going to believe Strahan. I'm going to believe Strahan if he thinks that. I think Willis and I can never pronounce that guy's last name will be fun to watch. I think any combination with Willis is going to be fun to watch. I really do. Why are the Cowboys fans surprised they fell so fast in the playoffs? They lead the NFC East. Does not mean it doesn't prove anything. You're right. When you're in a garbage division, it doesn't mean anything. Daniel Duck. I wish Daniel would duck his ass out of town. The G-Man for the last 10 years was the king is if it makes you watch that, don't do it. I said it before, Antoine. I said it before. The Giants are the team of ifs. And I literally list, and I know if it doesn't make much sense, but I just laugh because I literally listed out like 15, 20 ifs of how they could be successful this season. And I got halfway through the list, and I remember doing the video going to myself, damn, I don't even know if we're going to win 6 games. Tim Tebow cannot even, Dale Jones cannot even hold Tim Tebow's jockstrap. Hey-oh. How big is it? What's up, John? Why do some fans make excuse for Daniel Jones no matter what? Because a lot of them are younger fans. And I'm not going to lie to you. And I've said this 1,000,000 times. A lot of their point of references is Eli Manning. So if your point of reference as a Giant fan is Eli Manning and that's all you know, this is your quarterback. This is the guy the team drafted. This is your guy. And you're going to stick with your guy. Like Phil Simms was my guy. My first guy. That was my first. That was the first game to get rid of the Craig Morton jersey. Thanks, Grammy. Fucking Craig Morton jersey. Who gives a kid a Craig Morton jersey for Christmas? I'm not telling that story again. But then the next guy was Phil Simms. So Phil was my guy. Phil was my guy. Oh, hold on. Let's see if there's any Giant news. Close game for the Trailblazers and Celtics are tied in the fourth quarter. I'm going to do Nick games. I think I'm going to do a Nick game. Tim said 6 wins. You were being I was being too optimistic. I even said I was being too optimistic. I said that Daniel Jones is not a starter. I don't think he's a starter. I think you're right. I don't think he is a starter. I don't think he's a starter. I don't think he's a starter at all. Do you think the Giants will actually draft Malik? I hope they do, but I'm afraid that they will let me down and not. I am worried that they're not, and he's going to go to Washington. That's what concerns me. I don't want a Devontae Smith, Michael Parsons issue. I don't want that. I don't want to see these guys twice. Yes, I actually had that play on my Twitter. Yes, he did. In the air with a flick of the wrist on the run in the snow, uphill, both ways. Older fans will understand that. Brian Jones, I don't know. I don't see the combination. I really don't see the combination. Cowboys and Eagles played one more game than the Giants. Big accomplishment. Yeah, well, we all ended up in the same exact spot. You're right. Hey, I'm a bit on the edge about Willis. I don't have a lot of all 22 films, but of the 22 I did watch, sometimes he misses wide open guys downfield. Decision-making is okay. I don't know. The problem is you also need to, I've said this before. I like the Spider-Man thing because that reminds me like the old Spider-Man from the 70s cartoon. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches fleas, thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. And I always love it because in the heat of the night, at the scene of the crime. Sorry. The problem with Malik Willis is you have to watch 2020. Don't watch 2021. Watch 2020 more. His decision-making ability in 2021 was different than 2020 because his offensive line was better, and he had wide receivers who could actually hold on to the ball. But one of Malik Willis' biggest issues was the fact that he was dropping the ball. Yeah, they interviewed him today. Well, it was a Zoom interview. We talked about that early on. They interviewed him today. Shane comes in like the gunslinger Shane from the movie Shane. Shane, come back. Nobody's gonna know what that reference is besides me. And he calls up the guy immediately, like, dude, let's chat. Tim, we already in cap hell. We've been paying for defensive tackle like Aaron Donald, Leonard Williams. He's such trash. Yep, I can't stand him because just release him or trade him, do something. You can't. We can't get rid of him until next. We can't get rid of him until 2023. You get rid of him in 2022, you got a JPP, Olivier Vernon, OBJ situation with your cap. You just can't. You can't. Brian Flores, an OC from the Volunteers, the Vols. I don't know who the OC is the Vols. I can't think off the top of my head. You'll cry watching the Knicks. It was bad. I don't want to talk about the Knicks today because I got a Knick video coming out, but it was bad. Sims was the greatest quarterback of the 80s. All those other dudes, all bums. Troy Aikman. How the hell is Troy Aikman in the Hall of Fame when Phil Simms and Troy Aikman almost have identical numbers? And I know Troy has one more ring, but Simms has 2 rings. And he would have been the leader of that 90 team if he didn't get hurt in the Buffalo game. I think there's a good chance we hire Flores. I don't know. I'm hoping. I am hoping. I got my fingers crossed. The Giants need to get rid of their farm team status. And how the hell is Eli Apple still in the league? Eli Apple's still in the league and actually playing well in Cincinnati. Wolfie! Werewolves of London. I'm one of the younger fans, only being 17. However, I'm not blind. I see with my eyes. But my hope is it looks like it has to be unbiased. Jones is below average. Then you are a smart fan. And I'm always telling you, I'm always telling people, your age does not dictate if you're a smart fan or a dumb fan. Your ability to step away and honestly assess what is in front of you makes you an intelligent fan. And Wolfie, that's what you do. Breaking news. Adam Schefter of the New York Giants expect to interview Brian Flores head coaching job. Yes, they actually are. They haven't, I don't know if they said, I think they set up a time, but realistically, how many fans would be happy if they take Willis and sit him on the bench? I don't care. It's about building an organization. It's about building a culture. It's about, now it's not like Joe Judge. I got to build a culture here. Now, I have to go wipe down those machines over there at Planet Fitness. It doesn't matter. They set you have like an Alex Smith type quarterback. You sit your guy. That's okay. Malik Willis isn't playing with elite. No, he's not. No, he's not. But no, he's not. That's a great point, Matthew. And I always said that. Watch because Malik, when he was on the field at Liberty, you could tell that he was the best player on his team and head and shoulders. And that's what you need when you play at a smaller school. Now, Liberty played a lot of top 25 teams in the last 2 years, and people seem to forget about that. Flores will not like number 8 if he dislikes Tua. I agree. If he doesn't like Tua, he's not going to like Daniel Jones. He is not going to like Daniel Jones at all. Bills had 4 scouts at the Liberty game, and they scouted him once more. They actually scouted him at the Ole Miss game. I think there's a real chance they pick him. I think you might be right. If Malik isn't into play, I think we should trade down for both picks since we have too many holes. That would take Tibbs if available, though. I would try. If there's a guy that you really want on, especially defensive end, and he's there, I gotta what you call it. I gotta take him. But I understand your point. I really do understand your point. People need to go back and watch all 22 Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen's in college. They missed tons of guys downfield, tons of accuracy issue, bad feet mechanics. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Willis does have the high-end talent, more mobile than Jones. He's a guy that, like I said, I just have this feeling he's going to impress. Tim, remember the year before we had the second division or so, and that year's opponents are harder, but next year it's going to be different. We're going to play the teams that are the fourth in their division. It doesn't matter. This is what I always tell people about trying to prognosticate the schedule now. Those teams that are fourth, maybe second next year, maybe first, maybe fifth. I don't know. Is there a rule you have to interview coaches in the playoffs by a certain time? Yes, you have to interview them. You can't hire them, of course, until after they're out of the playoffs, but you can interview them, and you do have a time frame. Alan Ladd. Yes, it was Alan Ladd. Alan Ladd was Shane. The big question for you, Montana, New York. Did Shane die at the end of the movie? Yes, he's riding off the knee over. He slumped over in the saddle, but is he dead? Or is he wounded? Or is that why there wasn't a Shane 2? There was a great scene in The Negotiator with Samuel L. Jackson. And the guy, I can't think of his name, who went crazy or something. He had sexual harassment issues or something like that. Kevin Spacey. And they debate whether Shane was dead or not. And I always wondered that. Did Shane die? Did Shane die? If I can't find all or any 22 on Malik Willis for 2000, I'll just have to watch a regular film him with a guess. I just watched and I've said this before, if you can, try to find an entire game from Liberty and watch Malik Willis the entire game. Watch the good plays, watch the bad plays, watch the plays that broke down, watch the plays that he screwed up. Excuse me, watch them all and then make an assessment that way. This is a great point. I always point this out too. Malik Willis only lost 5 fumbles in college when having way more running attempts and barely caps up the ball. Malik Willis, one game this year, ran the ball like 25 times, something like that, for 28 yards and was sacked 9 times and never fumbled. Malik Willis is shorter than Josh Allen. If Shane does the right thing, what they did to improve Josh, the Giants could have a great quarterback. I agree. Malik is 6'1". Like I said, college 6'1". I was almost 6'4" in college. I'm like 6'1 and a quarter. I was almost 6'4". I tell people college is the only place I ever went to where you learn not to measure. Oh my goodness. What would be the icing on the case? Get rid of Kevin Abrams. The GM has the power to do it. Right. Yeah. Well, here's the thing with Kevin Abrams. He's not, I mean, with Shane. He's a vice president of football operations as well. He's a vice president of football and the general manager. So he can do whatever the hell he wants. So, yeah, they can check. Yeah. Yeah, but we don't know. They would have him on the field within a month. Who are we talking about? Daniel Jones? How much would you bet if Flores is hired that we're getting a new quarterback for next year? If Flores is hired, I do think we're getting a new quarterback. Where does Mel Kiper have Willis? I don't care. I don't like Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper's been wrong more than a weatherman. And apologies to the one subscriber who is a weatherman. I'm not going to say who you are. I like a stopgap quarterback also. Draft Wills. Yeah, let's go. Let's just get it. Oh, this is a good question, though. What about Cam Newton as a bridge? I was at the Cam Newton game when he was with the Pats and they played the Giants in preseason. I said Cam was washed up. But I even said at the same breath, yes, he is washed up, but I would still take him over Daniel Jones. So I think that might answer the question there, John. By the way, Tim, I'm nervous because of the Senior Bowl. The Lions will be coaching Malik, so let's hope they pass on. The Lions is another team I worry about too. I don't think they'll take him that high, but I do worry about that as well. You draft a quarterback on talent. The entire point of coaching staff is develop fundamentals, mechanics for talented players. Yes, and he's 17. He's 17 and he gets it. Billy Idol gets it. I don't know why she doesn't get it. Quick, what movie is that from? I'm not allowed to talk about movies. I forgot. My problem is it's just hard to make decision making. I'm not going to be mad if we take Willis, but he's a hard project, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't work out. So he said the same thing about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Said the same thing about Phil Simms. At one point, we said the same thing about Eli Manning. I don't know. Cam Newton only good for a goal line duties. No thanks, but Cam, he is the best at rushing in touchdowns. You're right. You're right. Shane died. I don't know if Shane died. The Chiefs were a playoff caliber team with Smith. They weren't pressured to play Mahomes like the Giants will be hard to play Willis. Giant fans want to see from. That's true. That's true. That's a good point. Spider-Man, amazing. FYI, Spider-Man is amazing. Spider-Man. No, Giant Clown. I'll get to you in a minute. By the way, people are raving about how O-line means everything in the Colts, Washington Browns, all ranked in the top 5 in O-line. They're all missed the playoffs. Yeah, where does Kansas City rank in that? Not Kansas City. Where does Cincinnati rank in that equation? Shane died. I don't know. I don't know if he died. I was still thinking about that. FYI, Spider-Man is made. No. I'm talking 70 Spider-Man. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man in the heat of the night at the scene of the crime. He arrives just in time. 6'1" means probably 5'11". Yeah, I agree. I would say 5'11" as well. I know we overvalue interior linemen, but I love Jordan Davis if we were to trade down. Jordan Davis is not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick to trade down to. You're right. Heard Willis is 5'9". I hope he's not that small. I don't think he's that small. I don't think he's I don't think he's Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, man. I remember seeing Kyler Murray and I was like, on his pro day, I think it was. I was like, I don't know. There's something not right here. Mel Kiper and the weatherman joke. Oh, yeah, he is a weatherman. Come on. He is a weatherman. He is a weatherman. Also, let's not forget, Malik was sacked 50 times. Yes, he was, and played good compared to what the Giants sacked the 5th least, and he still struggled. Malik Willis could ball. Yeah, that's all great points. I mean, Glennon was 5'9" with his neck, but he's over 6'6". Hey-oh. Mel Kiper claimed that Jamarcus Russell would be a top 5 quarterback. Carr and Joey Harrington would be played better than Peyton Manning, and Sam Donald would be a Hall of Famer. Mel is clueless. I also think he liked Ryan Leaf. I think you're right. I don't have big sports. I know his Cam will watch up, but I think he can help Willis if he can draft. I don't have a problem with Cam Newton. I don't have a problem bringing Cam Newton. I really don't. I didn't have a problem bringing him in this year. Yeah. If you saw the preseason game with Cam Newton against the Giants, yeah, he was washed up to hell. Oh, hell. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was bad. Who the hell is Mel Kiper? This guy who's never put anything in jockstrap. He has no more football knowledge than by Postman, who doesn't even have season tickets to the NFL. Hey-o. Shane is not dead. He is injured in the gun battle. He's left for the viewers to decide if he's riding off the sunset to spare a little joy from seeing him die or going back to being a gunslinger. See, that's the problem. Because if you watch, he actually slumps over in the saddle like he's deceased. I'm just letting you know. People clown McAdoo and when he didn't want but he did want him Holmes in 2007. As good as the 2008 quarterback draft was supposed to be, Allen and Jackson panned out. I see the same thing. It's the 83 draft class. Yeah, you had your Marinos, but you also had your Todd Blackledges. You also had your Tony Easons. You also had your, you also had your Ken O'Briens. You know, you had some bad guys mixed into that draft. I'm waiting to see the rise and the fall after the combine. I don't know if he's going to go to the combine. What's up, Abby? What's up, my dude? What's going on? How are you doing on this lovely day? Oh, wait, the Spider-Man show in the 70s was much more superior. People are obsessed with the prototypical 6'5" strong arm field general. The league has changed. You're right. College ball's emptying the pros. You're right. I'm doing well, my friend. How are you doing? Everything good? I mean, Spider-Man show was superior to the show. I mean, the Spider-Man show was superior to the show. No, it was not superior to the show in the 70s. Oh, God. Malik Willis is great, but he's not the smooth sounds of Kenny G. Where is the smooth sounds of Kenny G? I got that one for you, my brother. I got that for you. Hold on. Wow, I got that in 8. Bank number 8. I got a new soundboard. I got to set it up. Bringing you the smooth sounds of Kenny G. 72 million. Not worth it. As you can plainly see. You always have the smooth sounds of Kenny G. Murray mysteriously put on 20 pounds between last game and his pro day. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. Who the hell is Mel Kiper? That's right. I mean, it's right. Man, I do believe this, though. Manning, Rivers, and Roethlisberger I do believe they was just as good as the 83 class. I really do. Again, Hutchinson in the title game was, I can't judge a man's career in the pros off of one snap. Because you're talking about really one play. Javion Clowney blew up a guy in college, and that was the highlight forever. I want Huntley. They're not giving up Huntley. They're not giving up Huntley. In the 3rd and 4th round, do we go D-line? I got to go offensive line. You have to go with offensive line. Who would I pick at 5? If my quarterback's not going to be there at 6, and I'm going for Malik Willis, I'm going Malik Willis. I have to go. Oh, jeez. We have another request here. Oh, I love these private chats. All right, one last time. My voice can't handle this all the time, though. But when people request, even when I got a bad voice, I still have to do it.
Stop audio.
All right, everyone. Of course, today's show is sponsored by Poppycockers, the best in London adult entertainment on the West End. If you want your poppycock, come to Poppycockers. That's for Dom. I love when people put me private comments like, do the Poppycockers thing one more time. It's as cold air dries up my throat. We do need a punter. And the Giants now, I have a feeling, will not draft a punter. I have a feeling they won't now. By the way, if anyone watched the mock drafts, Senator from Iowa has slid down now to the teens and early 20s. No one with a brain is taking a center time. Unless you are telling me and you think and you feel that he is going to be Dwight Stevenson 2.0, then that is the only time I am going to draft a center in the top 15. And I said that, and I've been saying this, and people are like, you're so dumb. No, it's just logic. Is Carson Wentz washed? I don't think he is, but he's going to get another year. He's going to get one more year with Frank Reich. He is. Because, excuse me, it's the same assessment. You get rid of him in Indianapolis, who are you replacing him with? It's the same kind of problem the Giants have. Huntley and Lamar have known each other since high school. The Ravens ain't giving Huntley away on the cheap. No, they're not going to give him away. They are not going to give him away. No, they are not. Of course, that's you got to get your poppycock to Poppycockers. Oh, I miss Dom during the afternoon. I'd miss Dom in the evening streams. I say no to an O-line in the first round. So do I. I've been saying that forever. How many dollars does Kenny G get per reception? Well, he got $72 million. 36, I think, is guaranteed. And I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure. He got a lot. I know how much he got for a touchdown. I think if we hire Brian Flores, he'll change Daniel Jones' locker combination by Monday morning. He's gonna what you call him. He's gonna lock the parking lot gate. And I can see Brian Flores. Click. Oh, Daniel Jones can't come in. Not my quarterback anymore. No, he's not a free agent. That's going to be the problem. You have to trade for him. Linderbaum is good, but he's slightly struggling against Kentucky D-line. Those guys are more along the lines of prototypical NFL defensive linemen. So if you risk a second on, I'm the same way. He reminds me of Lloyd Cushenberry from, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. That's what he reminds me of. My best friend is a Colt fan, and he wants to know if he watched Carson Wentz in person, how good he was, and was if he did. Colt fans and wants to know if you watch Carson. I did see Carson Wentz, and I've seen Carson Wentz in person in Philadelphia. And I saw him during his Super Bowl. Well, not his Super Bowl run. I saw him in his team's run to the Super Bowl. And he was great. He was going to be the MVP of the league till he got hurt. I understand we need online depth, but there are so many nice linebackers. We had a 6'4" safety is something like Isaiah Simmons. Can't teach 6'4" range safety. You can't teach height. I had a coach in college tell me that. You can't teach height. So like there's a lot of things you can work on, but you can't teach height. And he was actually making fun of me because I wasn't tall enough to be what he wanted to do. He's like, you have all the attributes, but I can't teach height. Why do the Giants fans act if the offensive lineman can't be? That's the problem, though. And this is what I get a little dumbfounded with. Yeah, I understand Malik Willis could be a bust. I get that. There is that potential, and there is that possibility. Same thing with these offensive linemen. You go out and draft an offensive lineman in the first round. It's not like there's an opportunity that he is not going to work out. There's always that chance. Do you think Malik Willis will make Kenny worth the money, or is Kenny still? I still think Kenny's a product of the Dome and Matthew Stafford. And I know he'll go, well, this contested catches. Yeah. I love that the Giants receiver coach came out and said, well, we probably didn't use Kenny right. Giant fans are too obsessed with O-line. Yeah, we've tried it. We swung and missed. Let's try something different. Giant, what's up, Giant? Giant fans want Flores, but they don't want Quinn. You're right. One has never been to the playoffs. The other should have beaten the Pats and win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, I don't think Dan Quinn's ever going to recover from that Super Bowl. I don't think he's ever going to recover from that. We mainly need a right tackle because Solder is a revolving door, and he's our main weakness. Solder better ride the bench. Solder's not going to be here next year. we can get rid of him. He's not going to bowl here. I'm a big-time Notre Dame fan. I know Hamilton was special when I saw him lead the team in tackles, get 4 interceptions in his freshman year. You know, it's funny, though. And again, I'm just saying this about, I guess I'm just saying this about can't miss players. Manti Te'o, Notre Dame, besides the fake girlfriend thing, was a can't miss prospect. Yeah, he missed big time. And I'm not saying Hamilton's not going to be special, and I'm not going to say he's going to be Manti Te'o. I'm just saying, to the point previously, even if you draft an offensive lineman, it does not mean he is going to work out. Eric Flowers. Yeah, they keep saying fix the O-line. It looks like O-lines never bust. Never happens. Giants have plenty of O-lines and none of them panned out. Plenty of them. Right. You're not wrong. If you're going to go with Willis, you should go with Willis at 5. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I've seen that in a couple different places. And like I said, you are picking 5 and 7. If you think Carolina is going to jump and get Willis, you take Willis at 5. Because of the fact that the player you still want is probably still going to be there at 7. I did security at the draft in Philadelphia and saw Wentz and Ertz, and they weren't that big in person. Wentz is pretty big. I've seen Wentz in person. I don't know about Zach Ertz. I never stood next to Zach Ertz. I would trade back out of the top 10 and pick up the first, the 23, and second for this year, and then trade the second for Huntley, pick up some linemen and mid. I don't mind the trades, but I'm not giving up a second for Huntley. No, Manti Te'o is still in the league. Who is better, Tim, Huntley, or Wilson? Well, I am. I know there's a question before me. I don't know. Because I don't know, I'm not trying to be a butt about it, but I don't like to just pontificate. Well, that's a lie. But I can't judge Willis, who's never stepped foot on an NFL field yet, against Huntley, who's played, to tell you who's better. So I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you. Rashad Slater reminds me of Eric Flowers. If he was on the Giants, I said the same thing, Zach Attack. If he was on this team, he would probably struggle, not mightily, but he's not going to be the same guy he is with the duck behind him. People are obsessed with picking certain positions. They forget position. Yes, they forget position value in the draft. Yes. Flashguard 180. Yes. Yes. You pick. There's valued position. Yes, there's valued positions in the draft. Yes, we should do a video about that. It's a great idea. Quarterback and O-line, nothing wrong with that. Broken neck quarterback needs someone behind him. Get your O-line. I like it. No, he's not calling Ward. Does anyone fall for the fake? No, they never do. And you know that just because you're yeah, I know why you're doing that, Saeed. Who is a better college quarterback, Willis or Charlie Ward? Charlie Ward was good, beyond good at Florida State. He just wanted assurances that he was going to get picked in the first round. You're never going to get that. Plus, he went to the first round for the Knicks. And like I said, at one point in time, he was the best quarterback in New York. Quarterback has a higher positional value than offensive lineman. You're right. You're right. All right, it's 10:19. I wasn't going to stream today because we're going to stream on Sunday. Anyone got any other wonderful? Anyone got any questions or anything? Because I'm going to call it a night. Because I got to get up at 5 tomorrow. Going to do the Sunday stream at 10:30 a.m. I'm going to be on With the Bad Dog Monday. So that'll be fun. It'll be on his channel. I don't know the time yet. He asked me on Twitter. We were tweetering, whatever it called me. He talked to someone on Twitter. So I don't know what time that's going to be yet. So that'll probably be around 9 or 10 o'clock on Monday. So you're going to get a lot of me. you're going to get me on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. sometime with Bad Dog on Monday. And we're going to get a good video. We're going to have a good video. What is this? I noticed some G-Men YouTuber channels are not answering questions anymore unless your wallet is open. What's your thoughts on that? It's my imagination or not like that. So I honestly don't know. And I'll be honest about it. I will pontificate about this because I don't know. Because I don't watch other live streams besides Bad Dog because I'm usually on. That's when I watch it. I donate my money. Not that I'm rich, not that I'm well off, not that I'm living here in the castle, the online Big Blue Castle, but it's the right thing to do. And there's people out there that are needy and are in worse situations than I'm in. And I do know, and I have had people tell me that some channels will not read your comments unless you do a super chat. I don't know if that's by design. I don't know. I can't tell you. I cannot tell you I can't tell you what's in other people's minds and other people's hearts when they do things like that. I try to read almost every and it kills me though, because it kills my throat because I don't stop talking 24/7. I mean, for the minute I come on, I try to read every comment. And we had a person donate the other day, and it was a great donation. I think it was Frank, New York, and I can't remember, and I apologize. And he just donated. He donated money, and he didn't even put a comment. And then a couple comments later, he goes, "I'm just doing a good thing." So I always tell people, at least I'm going to read your comments either way, but at least the money that I'm getting from the super chats is going to a good cause, and the money that I make for the revenue in the videos mainly goes back into the show. Usually go back into buying equipment, t-shirts and hats and mugs and stuff like that. So I try to, because I can't do this without the people that are out there watching. I can't do this because then it's just a crazy person standing in front of a microphone pontificating. So I understand, and maybe I'm just wrong in my own crazy mind. I understand that I can't do this without you. I can't. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. Like I said, I'm just I might as well just go out in the street and start screaming at people. Like I don't already do that because of the fact that it just doesn't work. I'm going to get off my soapbox. So I hope that answered your question. You have a good one too, my friend. Have yourself a good night. Pick the best potential player. We're going to go through that. Joe Rev, have yourself a good evening. Jeffrey, I'm glad you were able to make it. Peace out to everyone. Nothing wrong with supporting channels. I don't think there's anything wrong with supporting channels. I don't. Here's my thing. I don't mind supporting channel. I don't disagree with you. My thing is this. Is the money going back into the channel? When I get my check at the end, my big check at the end of the month, and I subtract that and I donate the money that's from Super Chats, and I use the other money to do other things for the channel. So if you're putting back into the channel, you're going back into your subscribers. That's all I'm saying about that. Good night, my friend. Yeah, I respect you for doing that. Have yourself a good night. Yep, have yourself a good night as well. Well, there are some who get a lot of donations, especially coming through constantly, and they couldn't possibly read every comment. Listen, like I said, I get a couple hundred people in the chat at the time, and like I said, it's not easy. But you know what? You just burn through them, man. I do it. You just burn through them. Makes me want to fall over some days. We had one thing where I had like 200 people in the chat, and I literally sat there for 2.5 hours and I read almost every comment. And I look because it gives you the time. It'll tell you like 10:22 is a comment. And like I was so behind earlier because it was like 10:08 and it was like 10:19. That's the actual time was. So it's all good. It's all good. I donate my super chats all the time just to support giant content creators like that. Yeah. As long as you're giving back, that's always what you do. Thank you, Joseph. Oh, great show as always. Oh, yes, Jay. I'm sorry I missed the stream. Have yourself a great night. We'll see everyone Sunday morning. I just remember Troy Polamalu's nephew is a draft eligible this year and it might come this upcoming draft. Man, that makes me feel old. And I'm like 25. Listen, you want to feel old? I've been through Phil Simms, Gary Collins, Eli Manning, and Daniel Jones. Mr. Jones, have yourself a good night, everyone. Have yourself a good night as well. Hope everyone has a good night. Hope everyone has a good evening. You know what? Giants finally did something right, which is nice. They did something right. So let's hope that streak continues. Who do I have in the playoffs? I actually have the Bills and the Pats. Not the Pats. The Pats. Tampa. I have the Bills and Tampa. You think Tom Brady thinks the Pats. I have the Bills and Tampa Bay. So you know it's going to be something like Cincinnati. But that's who I bet on. If I was, actually, it's illegal to bet now. That's who I bet on. That's who I bet on to start at the start of the playoffs. So I'm still glad my two playoff teams were in play. Damn, Tim, you are, but still looking good, my man. Have yourself a good night. I know. That's why I am the OG of giant content creators. All right, guys, we're out of here. Oh, thanks for another. I thought we had a question. Thanks for another great stream, Matthew. Thank you for stopping in, Matthew, as always. I appreciate it. I appreciate you dropping on by and pontificating with me and giving out these comments that you do. Doing that thing you do. I just watched that movie the other day, too, for some unknown reason. Not a bad movie, that thing you do. Everyone calls Tampa the Pats. Yeah, I don't know. It just like it's stuck. It always sticks in my head. It always sticks through my head. I lived through Sims, Brown, Collins, Eli, and DJ, and I still feel young and great. Did you see Craig Morton play? I did. I'm only going to admit that once. I want the Titans. I really like. I like Tannehill too. Tannehill's a cocky guy. So shocking that I like him. Go G-Man. Shane was a great pick. It's a great pick. Let's just move forward. Let's roll on. Let's do what we got to do. Let's just do the thing we do. Let's just get it done. We're going to go for 3 more minutes and then we're going to call it a day. I'm checking Twitter at the same time. Yeah, you throw sticks and stones at me for the 7th round pick because I'm on the Willis Express. Oh, see, here we go. We already got people getting bashed because they're on the Willis Express. You know, but that's okay. I don't know. I like when they have this sensitive comment. Yeah, now they got the giant draft at Willis at 7. They got Linderbaum and they got Willis on this one draft. I like when people think it's all, we're all fans, man. I don't know why people got to be so nasty to other people. I don't know why. See, I win. I win by being old. Do you think the Giants will be able to trade back and get a second 20? It depends on if there's a player that someone's really. If someone was really interested in that, yeah, you could, I guess. I don't want to see. I didn't see him before my time. And if Tim would have a rule change, would you like to see? You know what's funny, Zach? I would like to see the hands rule change in reference to defensive backs. I think that you should go back to the 80s. The 80s, like I said, the 80s, you could mug a guy coming off the line. You could mug him. You could go to his house, kick his dog, tear up his newspaper, drink all of his coffee, and you would never get a flag called. There's just too much. And I know it's a money thing, and there's just too much passing in the league. There's not enough defense. Wow, you saw Tarkenton play. Yeesh. That's a good one, Tarkenton, though, man. That's a good one. And then I just gave you a rule change. Just gave it to you, man. I got 1 more minute. Clock is doing this. Let's see here. I want the FXL punt rule where the players can't move until the return man catches the ball. That's not a bad rule. That's not a bad rule. Logic's finest, man. We're closing it out. We're a minute away from leaving. We're a minute away. Quick, give me a question. You get the last question, unless someone else types something. I got a minute. I gotta go to bed. I gotta walk the dogs. It's like 12 degrees outside. How you doing, Logic's finest? How are you up to? What are you up to today? It's late here in Germany. Just got here in general manager news, my friend. Yeah, you got the Schoen. We got the Schoen in here. Too many penalties in that game. Too many penalties. It just wrecked the game. It really did wreck the game. It really wrecked the game for Dallas. It wrecked the momentum. Okay, who do you want as head coach since Harbaugh isn't coming here in reality? I still like Flores. I'm still on the floor. I'm still on the Flores Express, along with the Malik Willis Express. All right, guys, I gotta jump out of here. Hope everyone has yourself a great evening. Hope everyone has a safe evening. Wear your mask. Don't wear your mask. Just remember, you're gonna do it for everyone but yourself. It doesn't really matter. It's a rolling this together. My pipe dream would be Harbaugh. Harbaugh's not coming. He's coaching my own, but he's not leaving. I don't think he's leaving now. Greatest hit, Derek. Yeah, that was a great hit, man. Was that Bobby Humphries that he plowed into? Everyone be well, be safe. Be well. Be well, Lena Huxley. Another movie people are going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? Rob Schneider. He's in that movie. Sandra Bullock. And some famous action guy. Be well, Nina Huxley. Later, Zack Attack. We're all out of here, guys. Big head on Joe Theismann. Yawn, yeah, man. All right, guys. Have yourself a good evening. We'll see you on Sunday. We'll see you on with Bad Dog on Monday. Peace.